the weekend. Is there a case of City rediscovering their form at the right time of the season?
They've always been like that, and I think you said something with Bonica that if you look at the title run and fighting for the title, Liverpool, if you look at a team that has done that before, I think City stands a bigger chance because one, they have been in this situation before. If you look at the league that they won when they went toe-to-toe with Liverpool, they've been in that situation before. They've also been in a similar situation with Arsenal last year before. They've been in a situation where they are chasing their league or others are also chasing them. Okay. And in all these instances, they've managed to be able to get the decent results and go ahead and win the title. And I think that's the character they have. Because they know that if they focus on their games, if they focus on the matches that they are going to play, it is in their course. And that's experience. That's what experience gives you. Maybe that's also what, at this point, Arsenal also have. Because they hadn't been in a situation before last season. But this time around, they've been there before. They've been in the same dressing room. They've realized how it is to be chased or chasing a team for the title. City, obviously, we know them. I'm sure we're going to come back to the details of it. But if you look at City, I'm not surprised with what they are doing now. They know how to get the results irrespective of the opponent. And that's sometimes when you get closer to the business end of the season, these are the characters you need. Picking your games one after the other and making sure that you get the results.
Some brilliant goals scored over the weekend. That goal by Kevin De Bruyne, the killer, exquisite, getting the ball. Very similar to the goal that was scored by Kobe Mainoo over the weekend also for Man U in the English Premier League. Live on GH1 TV. This is the game. My name is Benjamin Yamwa in here now with Delali Frank. I will take my good friend analyzing the action from the weekend's sporting front. Okay, now I ask this and I want to ask if you are watching us as well, if you are on X, if you're on Facebook, if you're wherever it is, let's get to hear from you on this particular one. So now it is about 6 or so games in a season. City, Liverpool and Arsenal, top 3 gunning for the ultimate this year in the Premier League. Which team, Delali Frank, I would say, I'm happy because you're a fan of Chelsea, so it means you have no direct interest in these 3. Which of these teams has the best chance, really, of winning the ultimate this season in the Premier League?
Realistic chance, I just want us to look at the games that both teams have played, because that's how you can judge.
Okay.
So Arsenal will play Aston Villa. Yes.
Okay.
Arsenal will play Aston Villa at home. Wolves away, Chelsea at home, Tottenham away, Bournemouth, Manchester United, and then Everton.
That's for Arsenal.
That's for Arsenal.
Some interesting games in there.
Liverpool will play Crystal Palace, Fulham, Everton, West Ham, Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa, and Wolves. Manchester City will play Luton Town, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham, Tottenham.
I know the winner of the league already.
Exactly. So you see,
I know the winner already. So let's take our time.
Okay.
Mention the fixtures for Arsenal and Liverpool. Take your time with the Arsenal one. Listen, the Arsenal folks like Mutala.
Arsenal's going to play.
Listen.
Aston Villa at home.
Aston Villa at home.
Wolves away.
Wolverhampton Wanderers away.
Chelsea at home.
Chelsea.
Tottenham.
Chelsea
at home. Tottenham away.
Okay.
Remember, these are not London teams.
Derbies. London derbies.
And then there's Bournemouth
at home.
Manchester United away.
Man U away.
And then there's Everton
at
home.
And Everton today has been docked 2 points.
And remember, Everton would, at that point, will be fighting for relegation.
Yes, survive the relegation battle.
Liverpool will play Crystal Palace at home.
I'm doing the work of the pastors and announcer. Go ahead. Liverpool again.
Crystal Palace at home.
Crystal Palace at home.
Fulham away. Everton away.
Okay.
West Ham away.
West Ham. Kudus.
Tottenham home.
Tottenham.
Aston Villa away.
Aston Villa.
Wolves home.
And Wolves the last game. That's for Liverpool.
Yes. Okay. Manchester City is going to play Luton Town at home.
Listen.
Brighton and Hove away.
Okay.
Nottingham Forest away.
Nottingham.
Wolves home.
Wolves.
Fulham away.
Fulham.
West Ham home.
West Ham.
Tottenham away.
Tottenham. Only 2 games realistically are tough for the City team in this fixture.
And so, if you are going to be realistic and you look at the teams and their performance, Arsenal looks like they have the toughest fixture. And if you are going to be honest to ourselves, because even if the games that you look at it and pinpoint and say they are going to easily win, should perhaps be against Bournemouth or perhaps Wolves. But, however, if you look at the season and the period they are going to play these teams, it's going to be very tough because they're going to play Chelsea, and right after Chelsea they are going to play Tottenham Hotspur. At that point of the season, Chelsea may or may not be fighting for the Europa League slot.
Absolutely.
And at that point, there's no way, if Chelsea have a chance to prevent Arsenal from winning the title, they will take it. If Tottenham have any chance from preventing Arsenal from winning the title, because these are not London clubs, and it's obviously going to be a derby.
Yeah.
Obviously, those two games are going to be a tough game for Arsenal. They will play against Manchester United, who looks like a team that, in as much as they are bad, when they come out against the top 4 teams,
they can be spoilers.
They can be that's disappointed. They can really spoil your party. And they're going to play Arsenal the last game before the last but one game, which at that point will mean that either Arsenal are clear on they will need any results to get to win the title. And when that time comes, there's no way Ten Hag will give Arsenal that chance to get to that result. So Arsenal have a very tough fixture. Liverpool play Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have been very on and off, and I think it's just the next game that they are going to play at home. Liverpool should be able to beat Crystal Palace. They are going to play Fulham, which Fulham are a very stubborn side, especially when the season is coming closer to an end. They will play Everton. Everton at that point will either be struggling for relegation, and Liverpool will take it if they want to. If they have to send Everton to relegation, so it should be a game that they should easily be able to win. West Ham, a very tough opponent for anybody. We all know what West Ham can do when they play against Liverpool. Liverpool play Tottenham, and then their last game will be Wolves. A bit, if you are being fair, a bit less competitive as compared to Arsenal, and then Liverpool, and then Manchester City. City play Luton Town, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham, Tottenham. If you look at the games, perhaps the most toughest game among these should be the West Ham and then Tottenham game. And at that point, if anything is go by, at that point they will know whether they are getting closer to winning it. But let's also not forget that Liverpool and Arsenal are just ahead of Manchester City with just a single point. So
1 point.
It means if they are even a single draw means that City comes back to the top, and City, if Manchester City takes the top spot, it's pretty much going to be difficult. I wish that Arsenal will win because of the work that Mikel Arteta have done, and not only because even Thomas Partey is with the team. But if we want to be realistic and the fixtures that we have available, I think Manchester City has the easiest fixture.
That's coming from Delali Frank. I would say for the fixtures of the 3 teams left in the Premier League, it looks as though City have the better fixtures or relatively easier fixtures on paper than the other 2 in Arsenal and also Liverpool, as we have it in the English Premier League. You're live on GH1 TV, live on Star FM, and also live on X. It is GH1 TV as well. So enough of the stuff out there on the European front. I won't even talk about Chelsea, because even the Chelsea folks agree that we proceed and talk about Chelsea because things are just not good enough for their football team.
Tottenham has sent Pochettino to come and torment the team. Pochettino is working for Tottenham more than Chelsea.
Anyway, back home, not Chelsea, not Liverpool, none of that. Let's talk about Dreams FC. They are in dreamland. I'm sure when they began the African campaign some months ago, my brother next to me, Delali Frank, who not too long ago was indeed a member of the Dreams FC team and was with the team when they qualified for the African campaign actually. I doubt he envisaged that they will come this far in their first expedition into African football. But here they are, semi-finals, and they'll play against Zamalek in 2 weeks' time, first of all in Cairo, and then in Kumasi for the return encounter. They beat Stade Malien 3-2 aggregate to qualify for the semi-finals. Now, Delali, amazing achievement for a very young club, Dreams FC. Like I said, I'm sure you didn't see them coming this far when you were part of the team that qualified for the African campaign.
Obviously, I think the team they've outdone themselves, and I think Aminu has said this on countless times, and I'm going to tell a lot of people. Even after Dreams FC, before Dreams FC will play the last MTN FA Cup game against King Faisal, the club wasn't certain on whether they're going to play even the African Cup of Nations, the CAF Confederations Cup, because if you look at the resources involved and the current state of the club at that time, and the chances of the team even getting into the money zone, and looking at the fact that Ghanaian clubs have struggled to be excellent in these CAF games, it was obviously not a better decision for the club to do. So it was a split decision in board meetings whether the club should go or not. And even the decision to compete in the CAF Confederations Cup is a decision that was taken at last minute, because a lot of factors were not pointing in a direction that the club should even go and take take it upon themselves. But the team took a decision to compete, and for me, from the first day, the team took a decision to compete. I had it within me that they will do well, but not in my wildest dream did I see the club going all the way to the semi-finals of this game. It's something that the last time a Ghanaian club got there was basically 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Hugely surprising for it to even come from a club that is doing it for the first time. And for me, one thing that they had is the character that the club has. The fact that it's a club that the individuals and the people in the club, when they put their mind to something, they go for it. One thing they have is Wilfred Dortmund and Karim Zito. The experience that those managers have. They are well-established former footballers who have seen it all when it comes to playing in the African continent and playing and competing at the highest level. Those are the characters they've put in the club. They've made some few additions in the club, brought in John Entry, who knows the club very well. And I think his addition has really helped because
the experience is brought into the team.
Because John to Dreams FC is not just a signing. He is a player that everybody at Dreams FC, including the players, looks up to. To have him in the dressing room is as huge as having Cristiano Ronaldo in any dressing room of a U20 team. The players, everybody in the team looks up to him. He walks into the pitch, keeps everything, and is able to charge the guys to go ahead with him. I think one thing that has worked for them is his inclusion into the squad. And for me, however you look at it, it's a very huge decision, and I think the club is really doing well. I'm proud of everybody at the club for what they've been able to achieve. An individual of young players who, not on any day, no club in Africa will give such players the chance to play in the African continent. The Abdulaziz Issa, who happens to be the top scorer of this competition, it will surprise you to know that before the game started, the competition started, he had no passports. That's like no traveling experience. So if you look at, a lot of people should go back and go and check Dreams FC first games in the Confederations Cup, he didn't feature in the away matches. Because at that point,
he couldn't travel with the team.
He couldn't travel.
He had no passport.
He had no passport. It tells you the kind of players that the club has. Young players. Some of them are even traveling outside Ghana for the first time with this team, thanks to this Confederations Cup. And for what they've been able to do, for what the team have been able to get them to do, it's exceptional.
Exceptional stuff. They're from Delali Franca. We're speaking about Dreams FC and their run. Now, in front of them, though, is Zamalek. Can they get to the finals for Ghana football? I've been going past a team as huge, a giant.
I think one thing that I know about Karim Zito is usually when he gets closer to a title, if he's not closer, he isn't. But when he gets closer to a title, he knows how to surprise everybody. And I think he has outdone it, whether they win or not. But I think he has really gone past the expectations. But for me, whether they can be able to beat Zamalek, I think they will be able to do it. And it's not because I have a soft spot for them. It's because I have strong belief in the team and the kind of football they've played. Zito has an experience on the African continent. He's a U20 winner. Has played around the African continent, even as a player has played around the African continent. He has everything now. He has the support of the country. At this point, it's more of having fun than playing competitive games. And when the teams get into that motion, it's easier for them to get to playoffs.
Thank you very much, Delali Frank. Amazing stuff on Dreams FC and your charge in African football. Let's do a quick turnaround. When I come back, we wrap things up with some NBA action. Joshua Anakwami Aira, my colleague in here and our resident NBA analyst, is in. And we're taking us through what happened this dawn with the NBA action, and also Marc Gasol retirement. Some interesting package on that as well.